Selena? Nice to meet you. I'm Justin. You're very beautiful. Maybe we can go out sometime. Okay.
We need to have a serious conversation about the romance that didn't just define a generation, it traumatized it. If you grew up in the 2010s, you didn't just watch Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez date, you survived it. It was the modern-day equivalent of a Greek tragedy played out in 140 characters on Twitter, grainy paparazzi photos, and heartbreaking song lyrics. They were the Prince of Pop and the Princess of Disney, the couple that was supposed to be the fairy tale ending. But looking back now, with all the facts, the rumors, and the leaked details laid out on the table, it's becoming painfully clear that this wasn't a fairy tale. It was a horror story of obsession, manipulation, and crushing industry pressure that nearly destroyed them both. For 8 long years, we watched them break up and make up so many times that it gave the entire world whiplash. But there is a side to this story that you probably missed. We're going to dig deep into the archives, past the glossy magazine covers, to uncover the timeline you were never supposed to see. From the secret text messages that allegedly ended friendships to the shocking betrayal involving the Jenner sisters and the devastating 2-month window that saw Justin go from pledging his life to Selena to marrying another woman. There is a dark side to this love story that has been buried under public relations statements and non-disclosure agreements. Why did Selena really unfollow everyone on Instagram in 2014? What actually happened behind the scenes with Miley Cyrus? And is there any truth to the rumor that Justin sent one final, heartbreaking text hours before his wedding? It's time we piece the puzzle together and find out what really happened to Jelena. Chapter 1: The Little Brother Lie. To truly understand how twisted this ending was, you have to go back to the very beginning, where the manipulation started. The year was 2009. Justin Bieber was the new kid on the block, the boy wonder with the side-swept hair and the purple hoodie who was taking over YouTube. Selena Gomez was the titan of the Disney Channel, the girl everyone wanted to be. When rumors first started swirling that the two were spending time together, the narrative wasn't young love, it was denial. It was a calculated move to protect their images. Selena famously went on national television, looked David Letterman in the eye during a huge interview, and told the world that Justin was like her little brother. She laughed it off. She made it seem like the idea of dating him was ridiculous. It was a brilliant PR move designed to throw everyone off the scent. But behind the scenes, something much more calculated was happening. Industry insiders have long speculated that this match wasn't entirely organic at first. You had Scooter Braun, a marketing genius who knew exactly how to create a superstar, and you had the managers at Disney who knew that linking their biggest star with the world's biggest heartthrob would be gold. The rumors suggest that Jelena might have been initially pushed as a way to cross-pollinate fan bases, to get Justin's fans to watch Selena's shows and Selena's fans to buy Justin's albums. But the problem with manufacturing a romance between two teenagers is that teenagers have real hormones and real feelings. What might have started as a gentle nudge from management turned into an intense, isolating infatuation. Then came the moment the little brother act fell apart. It was New Year's Eve, 2010, St. Lucia. A photo leaked. It wasn't a posed red carpet shot. It was a grainy, stolen moment of them kissing on a yacht. The world stopped. It wasn't just a kiss. It was a declaration of war against their own fan bases. This was the moment the innocent veneer cracked. You have to remember how intense believers were at this time. They were protective and they were jealous. Selena began receiving death threats on Twitter almost instantly. It set a toxic tone that would haunt their relationship for the next 8 years. They tried to frame their next public appearance as innocent, a simple pancake date at IHOP, where they were seen arm in arm, but the machinery had already been turned on. They were no longer just two kids liking each other. They were a brand, and that brand was about to chew them up and spit them out. Chapter 2: The Golden Era and the First Betrayal. By 2011, they were the golden couple. They walked the red carpet at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, Justin in a dashing black suit, Selena in that iconic floor-length red dress, and they looked like they owned Hollywood. They were the American and Canadian dream. They were rich, beautiful, and seemingly in love. But beneath the surface of these perfect photo ops, the cracks were already forming, and they were ugly. This is where the story gets messy, because this is when the external players entered the game. The first major blow to their paradise was the Mariah Yater scandal. For those who blocked this out of their memory, a woman publicly claimed Justin Bieber was the father of her child. While the claim was eventually proven false, just imagine the psychological toll that takes on a teenage girlfriend. Selena had to sit back and watch the entire world speculate about her boyfriend's fidelity. It forced them to grow up way too fast. They weren't worrying about prom, they were worrying about paternity tests and lawsuits. But the external threats weren't just random fans or strangers, they were fellow celebrities. We often forget the Miley Cyrus factor. There has been a long-standing theory in Hollywood that Miley and Justin had a fling during one of his early breaks with Selena, or at least a flirtation that crossed the line. You can see the tension in that infamous Punk'd episode where Miley pranks Justin. Miley's attitude toward Justin in that episode was aggressive, playful, and deeply familiar, almost too familiar. Rumors swirled that Selena was incredibly jealous of Miley, and honestly, not without reason. Miley represented the wild, untamable side of the industry that Justin was gravitating towards, while Selena was trying to maintain her polished, perfect Disney image. This underlying tension created a pressure cooker of jealousy. Justin liked the bad girl energy, and Selena was trying so hard to be the good girl that it started to tear her apart. Chapter 3: The Spiral and the Secret Battle. Fast forward to late 2012 and 2013, and the wheels completely fell off. They broke up, citing trust issues, which is almost always Hollywood code for infidelity. This is when we saw the split in their personalities. When they broke up, their coping mechanisms were polar opposites. Justin went loud. He went off the rails. This was the bad boy era that dominated the news. We saw the DUIs, the drag racing in Miami in a yellow Lamborghini, the egging of his neighbor's house that cost him thousands of dollars, and the infamous incident where he peed in a mop bucket at a restaurant. He was a young man screaming for help, acting out in the most public way possible because he had lost his anchor. He didn't know who he was without her, so he tried to be everything she hated. But Selena, on the other hand, went quiet, dangerously quiet. The media narrative was that she was exhausted. Her team put out statements saying she needed to rest. Rumors started flying that she was in rehab for addiction, partying too hard to cope with the heartbreak. But the truth was far more harrowing than any tabloid gossip. While Justin was getting mugshots, Selena was secretly battling a life-threatening illness. She had been diagnosed with lupus. She wasn't in rehab for drugs. She was undergoing chemotherapy. She was fighting for her life while the world accused her of being a party girl. This disconnect is crucial to understanding their dynamic. You had one person acting out from heartbreak and ego, and the other retreating to survive a physical battle. When they did briefly reunite during this period, it was chaotic. There were videos of them fighting in airports, throwing bags, unfollowing each other on Instagram, and posting cryptic sad selfies with captions about feeling alone. It was a cycle of trauma bonding. They were the only two people who understood the specific level of fame they were experiencing, so they kept crashing back into each other, even when they knew it was poisonous. Chapter 4: The Coachella Scandal and the Squad Betrayal. If there is one weekend that defines the toxicity of this relationship, it's Coachella 2014. This is the chapter that changed everything and introduced the new players who would eventually end the game. Selena went to the festival looking happy. She was hanging out with Kendall and Kylie Jenner. They were posting photos together, wearing flower crowns, looking like the ultimate girl squad. It seemed like Selena had finally found a support system outside of her old Disney circle. She looked free, and then literally overnight, it vanished. In a move that shook Instagram, Selena unfollowed everyone, and I mean everyone. She didn't just unfollow Justin, she unfollowed Kendall and Kylie too. She went a step further and deleted all the photos of them from her feed. The silence was deafening. Fans were confused. What could have happened in 24 hours to destroy a friendship group? Insider reports and rampant speculation began to flood the blogs with a singular, shocking narrative. Selena allegedly found proof on Justin's phone. The rumors claim she found inappropriate texts and photos involving Justin and the Jenner sisters, the very women she had embraced as sisters for the Weeknd. This was the ultimate betrayal. It wasn't just a boyfriend cheating, it was a humiliation by her friends. While this has never been officially confirmed by the parties involved, the fallout speaks for itself. Selena was isolated. Justin immediately pivoted and started hanging out with the Jenners more publicly. And notably, this is when Hailey Baldwin started to appear more frequently in the picture. This was the ultimate betrayal. It wasn't just a boyfriend cheating, it was a humiliation by her friends. While this has never been officially confirmed by the parties involved, the fallout speaks for itself. Selena was isolated. Justin immediately pivoted and started hanging out with the Jenners more publicly. And notably, this is when Hailey Baldwin started to appear more frequently in the picture. This was the seed that would eventually grow into his marriage, planted in the soil of a massive betrayal against Selena. Chapter 5. The Instagram War of 2016. Just when we thought it couldn't get more petty or more public, 2016 happened. This was the year the Cold War turned hot. Justin had moved on to Sofia Richie, another young model and the daughter of music legend Lionel Richie. Justin's fans were not having it. They hated Sofia. They were bullying her relentlessly in his comments, posting snake emojis and telling him to go back to Selena. Justin, trying to be the protective boyfriend, posted a photo with Sofia and added a threatening caption. "I'm gonna make my Instagram private if you guys don't stop the hate. This is getting out of hand. If you guys are really fans, you wouldn't be so mean to people that I like." And then Selena Gomez entered the chat, literally. In one of the most savage moves in social media history, she commented directly on his post. She wrote, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend, lol. It should be special between you two only. Don't be mad at your fans, they love you." This unleashed absolute hell. It was the first time they had publicly acknowledged the bad blood. Justin fired back instantly, commenting, "It's funny to see people that used me for attention and still try to point the finger this way. Sad, all love." He accused her of using him for fame, but he didn't stop there. He dropped the nuclear bomb. In a follow-up comment, he vaguely accused her of cheating on him with Zayn from One Direction. The internet melted down. The accusations were flying back and forth for the world to see. Justin, unable to handle the heat, followed through on his threat and deleted his entire Instagram account. He disappeared from the platform. Selena later apologized on Snapchat, saying, "What I said was selfish and pointless, but the damage was done." It showed the world that despite the years apart, the resentment was boiling just beneath the surface. They weren't over it. They hated each other, which is just another side of loving each other. Chapter 6. The Weeknd, the Surgery, and the False Hope. 2017 brought a massive shift in tone. It stopped being petty and high school drama, and it got very real, very fast. Selena started dating The Weeknd, also known as Abel. They looked like a power couple. They walked the Met Gala red carpet together. They looked mature. It seemed like Selena had finally broken the curse. But behind the scenes, Selena's health was failing again. Her lupus had attacked her kidneys. She was weak, she was disappearing from the spotlight, and she needed a kidney transplant. It was a life or death situation. Her best friend, Francia Risa, donated her kidney to save Selena's life. When you face your own mortality at such a young age, your perspective changes. You stop caring about the petty fights. After the surgery, Justin came back around, not as a lover initially, but as a concerned friend. Reports say he was terrified. He realized how close he had come to losing her forever. He started attending church with her. He wanted to make sure she was okay. Reports claim the Weeknd was cool with it at first, trying to be supportive. But let's be honest, you can't have Justin Bieber just hanging around your girlfriend without things getting complicated. By October 2017, Selena and the Weeknd were done. And within days, literally days, Justin and Selena were photographed riding bikes together in Los Angeles. They were laughing like teenagers. Selena was wearing his hockey jersey. They looked happy. The world collectively gasped. It felt like the happy ending we had all been waiting for. They had both dated other people, they had grown up, they had faced their demons, and now finally they were finding their way back to each other. They spent New Year's together in Cabo. They went to his dad's wedding in Jamaica, where they were seen cuddling and kissing. Selena's mom was reportedly furious, causing a massive family rift because her family hadn't forgiven Justin for the years of pain he caused. But Selena didn't care. She was all in. In March 2018, she posted a birthday tribute to him on Instagram, a photo of her smiling with a Polaroid of him stuck to her forehead. The caption read, "Someone I know that happens to be super cool was born." Boom. It was official. They were back. And this brings us to the most shocking timeline in modern celebrity history. The speed at which this collapsed is actually terrifying. In March 2018, Selena and Justin were celebrating his birthday, seemingly in love. They were attending church services every Wednesday. They seemed inseparable. By May 2018, sources confirmed they had decided to take a break, just a pause, a breather, to figure things out. But it wasn't a break, it was the end. In June, barely weeks after leaving Selena, Justin was spotted in Miami, but he wasn't alone. He was with Hailey Baldwin. Fans assumed it was just a rebound. They assumed it was a tactic he had used a dozen times before to make Selena jealous. They thought, he'll be back. He always comes back. But then came July. The news broke and nobody believed it at first. Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin were engaged. Let that sink in for a second. In March, he was celebrating his birthday with Selena, the love of his life. In July, he was engaged to another woman. In September, they were legally married at a courthouse in New York City. The whiplash broke the internet. How do you go from an 8-year on-and-off saga with your soulmate to marrying someone else in less time than it takes to finish a semester of college? It destroyed Selena. She reportedly checked into a mental health facility shortly after, suffering from an emotional breakdown. It wasn't just a breakup, it was an erasure. It felt like he had replaced her overnight, validating every insecurity she had ever sung about. It was the ultimate message. You were the placeholder. She is the wife.
Chapter 8: The Wedding Text and the Ghost of You. But even after the marriage, the ghost of Jelena refused to die. When Selena released her comeback single, Lose You to Love Me, she gave us the lyric that explained the entire timeline. She sang, "In 2 months, you replaced us." It was a confirmation. She was telling us that the timeline we suspected was true. He moved on instantly. However, there is a persistent rumor, one that has been whispered about by insiders and fans alike, that adds a final, tragic layer to this wedding. Reports circulated that on the day of his formal wedding ceremony to Hailey, not the courthouse one, but the big ceremony in South Carolina a year later, Justin allegedly reached out to Selena one last time. The rumor suggests he sent a text. Some say it was looking for closure. Some say it was an apology. And the wildest rumors suggest he texted her, "I love you," one last time before walking down the aisle. We may never see that text. We may never know if it's true. But fans point to the music as proof. Listen to the lyrics of Justin's song Ghost, released after his marriage. If I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. He claims the song is about his grandfather passing away, but fans have dissected every word. They point out that the longing in that song mirrors the devastating end of his relationship with Selena. It's a song about grieving someone who is still alive, but out of reach. Conclusion. So why are we still talking about this? Why does a video about a relationship that ended years ago still get millions of views? It's because we watched two children grow up, destroy each other, and try to put the pieces back together in front of a global audience. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez are a testament to the fact that sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes history is just too heavy to carry.
They have both moved on. Justin is a husband and a father-to-be. Selena is a mogul running a billion-dollar beauty empire. But the scar of Jelena is something that shaped pop culture forever. It taught an entire generation that the perfect couple on the magazine cover is usually suffering the most behind closed doors. It showed us that sometimes you have to lose the person you thought was your soulmate to actually find yourself. And just when you think the drama is finally dead and buried, new players enter the game to reignite the fire. Because if you think the story ended with the wedding, you haven't been paying attention to what Hailey Bieber has been dealing with for the last 5 years. The fan wars, the mean girl accusations, and the internet's ruthless attempt to villainize the woman who got the ring. But that is a twisted story for another video. If you want to see part 2, where we expose the truth about Hailey versus Selena, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss it.
About her that made you want to be with her? I am all about really genuine people, and I feel like she's one of the most genuine people. You know, she just has a good heart, and I can talk to her about anything.
Looking at this boy, I'ma call him McDreamy. I was wondering if he got good Cheney. Got a Lamborghini so the dress go high, and a button-down Chris Brown bow tie. You like how I rock my swag? How you gonna tell me how to rock my swag? I'ma wear my Supergirl swag. If you don't like it, you can kiss my swag. Uh-oh, things are getting kinda tricky, but it doesn't mean much to a girl like me, 'cause I can do things that you never believe, even in your wildest dreams. It's a big bad world, but I ain't ashamed. I love the lights in my hand and the beat in my face. Bitches couldn't get on my incline. World tours, it's mine. 10 little letters on a big sign. Justin Bieber, you know I'ma hit him with the ether, but I gotta keep an eye out for Selena.
The last time he was on, I made him cry.
Well, then that makes 2 of us.
But I gotta keep an eye out for Selena.